My name is Ankit Sharma. My seminar topic is embedded system. So these are the contents we are discuss in this video. Introduction of embedded system, components, classifications, processors, advantages, limitations, application, future scope. Now start with introduction of embedded system. Before we moving on the embedded system, we need to understand what is a system. System is a arrangement of certain unit and component. They work together on by following set of plans and procedure. This is called a system. Now we moving on the embedded system. An embedded system is one that has computer hardware with software embedded in it, one of its important components. In other words, we can say that embedded system is a combination of software and hardware to complete a specific task. And main one thing is its software embeds in read-only memory. It doesn't need secondary memory in a computer. Now we have the computer hardware, a microprocessor, a large memory, primary memory and secondary memory, RAM, ROM and caches. Input units, keyboard, mouse, scanner. Output unit, monitor, printer, etc. Networking unit, Ethernet card, driver, etc. Input output units, modem, faxcom modem, etc. Now we have the components of embedded system. It has a hardware, processor, timer, interrupt controller, input output devices, memory, ports and etc. It has main application software which may perform concurrently these series of tasks and multiple tasks. We have some idea about hardware and software, but here is new thing arises RTOs. RTOs stand for the real-time operating system. RTOs define the way of system work which supervise the application software. It sets the rules during the execution of application program. A small scale embedded system may not need an RTOs. It means RTOs is trying to be supervise, trying to be coordinate, trying to monitor. It provides a set of rules during the program execution, and it also set a schedule mechanism of embedded system. So RTO shows how our system is work. So this is called RTOs. Next we have the embedded system hardware. In embedded system hardware consist various block, power supply, input devices, output devices, processor, timer, interrupt controller, program memory and data memory, serial communication port, parallel port, system application specific circuits. So we start with power supply. So power supply is essential for the embedded system. Most of the embedded system need the 5-volt power supply, and oscillator circuit is used to ensure the harmonics and synchronization in a embedded system. And input port, the input gets from physical devices like transducer circuit, keypad, touch screen, etc. And output ports like LED, LCD and communication systems. Processor is the heart of embedded system. The various type of processor we are used: 8-bit processor, 16-bit processor, 32-bit processor, 64-bit processor, etc. And timers is used to provide a accurate delay on the basis of application requirement. Generally, most of the timers are used in the embedded system: timer 0 and timer 1. They each of 16-bit timers, and they also act as a timer and counter. And next we have the interrupt controller. Interrupt controller is used for the data transfer between computer and input output devices. It can be done in a three ways. Number one, program input output. Number second, interrupt interrupt control input output. And third one is a DMA. DMA stands for direct memory access. And this is a embedded system hardware. And next we have the embedded system constraints. An embedded system is a software designed to keep in a view three constraints: available system memory, available processor speed, the need to limit power dissipation. When running the system continuously in cycle of wait for event, run, stop and wake up. What makes embedded system different? We have discussed about in previous slides RTOs, real time operation, size, cost, time, reliability, safety, energy, security. So these are the factors they makes a different embedded system. And next we have classification of embedded system. These classifications are divided into three categories: small scale embedded system, medium scale, sophisticated embedded system. So we discuss one by one in further slides. So number one is small scale embedded system. Single 8-bit or 16-bit microcontroller, little hardware and software complexity. They may even be battery operated. Usually C language is used for developing these systems. The need to limit power dissipation when system is running continuously. And next we have medium scale embedded system. It is a 16 or 32-bit microcontrollers, signal processor or reducing instructions, set computers, both hardware and software complexity. In sophisticated embedded system, enormous hardware and software complexity, which may need scalable processor or configurable processor and programming logic array, constrained by processing speed available in their hardware unit. So these are the classification of embedded system. Next we have the processor. Processor is the heart of embedded system. So various type of processor. It generally divided into three categories: general purpose processor, also called the GPP, and second one is application specific system processor, and third one is multiprocessor system using GPP. We discuss about the general purpose processor. First one is a microprocessor, microcontroller, embedded processor, digital signal processor. So microprocessor is a semiconductor chip that which we implemented on the central processing of unit. This is called a microprocessor, same as in the microcontroller. But microprocessor has no memory, but in the microcontroller have inbuilt memory. So this is the main difference between the microprocessor and microcontroller. Now third one is a embedded processor. Special microprocessor and microcontroller, often called embedded processor. The embedded processor used when the fast context switching and atomic ALU operations are needed. For example, ARM7, Intel i936. And last one we have the digital signal processor. Digital signal processor is a single chip, very large scale integrated unit. It is used when the digital signal processing function to be processed fast. So these are the processor. And we have next advantages of embedded system: small size and faster to load, more specific to one task, easy to manage, low cost, spend less resources. So these are the advantages of embedded system. And also we have the some limitations. So number one is a difficult to upgrade. If any problem occur, then you need to reset settings. Hardware is limited, troubleshooting is difficult to transfer data from a one system to other. And here is applications. So household appliances, microwave oven, television, DVD, player and recorders, audio players, integrated system in aircrafts and missiles, electric and electric motor controllers, calculator, medical equipment, video game, digital musical instruments, etc. So these are the application of embedded system. And the future scope of embedded system. Embedded system is a future. Every industry needs some artificial intelligence into it. Artificial intelligence can be given by embedded system only. No electronic product is without embedded system in the market. So these here companies like TCS, Wipro, L&T, Tata, etc. So these are company investing heavily in their embedded system operating in India. Mobile manufacturing like Foxconn are setting up their plant in India. So these are the reference books about the embedded system, and in other reference you can visit these sites. I hope you like this video. Thank you so much.